We're hot. Yeah. Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. This is Michael from GuitarGate, and I got a new guitar for you today. So this is the PRS Paul's guitar, the SE version. I thank you very much, PRS, for sending this to me, and I'm really looking forward to trying this thing out. If you guys don't know, Paul plays in a bitchin' band here in Maryland. Actually, all over the world. He takes the guitars and the band to play the guitars everywhere he goes when they do demos and new releases or whatever, which is super cool. Anyway, this is the guitar that he built for himself. Now, obviously, this is the SE, so it's in the neighborhood of $1,000 as opposed to a few $1,000 plus when you get into the core models and obviously the private stock. So what I'm going to do is what I recommend each of you do whenever you get a guitar, and that's pull it off the wall and play with it for 5 minutes or so. Don't look at the specs. I didn't look anything up on this thing. I literally pulled it out of the bag, plugged it in, make sure the audio worked, turned my lights on, checked the tuning, and hit the button on this video. So I'm going to go through it and tell you exactly what I think, try some different sounds, and tell you whether or not I think it's a good guitar, straight up. Now, first things I notice is that one, this thing's heavy. Like, I've played a bunch of SEs. This feels different. It feels more solid. It feels bottom heavy. Like, this thing feels sturdy. And also, look at the blue on the birds. That's pretty slick. All right, here we go. like this guitar. I would totally gig with this guitar and record with it. Where do I want to start? All right, so I mentioned that this thing is heavy. Like, it feels heavy. Now, it's definitely coming from the back of the body and this saddle. This thing is absolutely solid. It feels the way a hardtail guitar should feel, and that's like the strings are on train tracks. It wants to sustain. And I feel like that's the most important thing. That's what sticks out to me about this guitar. If I had to say, in my estimation, the thing that Paul cares most about in his guitar is that it sustains. It really just rings. And, you know, obviously you can tell the difference between this and a core model, or especially a private stock for cosmetic stuff. You can tell the difference a little bit, although it might be kind of hard, in the sound of the pickups, so on and so forth. Obviously, the fretwork is perfect, and the nuts perfect, and the tuners stay in tune, and all this feels solid, and it's beautiful, and you got the binding, blah, 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 blah. Like, obviously, this is a beautiful guitar. But what I care about when I am interested in a guitar, what I think makes a guitar a good guitar or not. And again, this is very important because you might not like PRS. You might think I'm totally biased or whatever. But I'd say this to everyone, regardless of brand, regardless of price, whether it's new or used, acoustic or electric. The way you tell a good guitar, right? You know, because you can have, you know, a bunch of guitars the same year, same brand, and some are good and some aren't. So what's the difference? It's whether when you pick it off the wall, it rings. Whether it feels like the goal, like the culmination of all the work from this part to this part to this part, is to make the string from here to here just ring out indefinitely. That's number one. So the purest, most sincere tone of the actual string ringing. And then second, with the neck, is can you really feel and hear, is it audible, the little subtle nuances in your dynamics and your vibrato, especially your violin style vibrato. Not just your back and forth, but your up and down. Those things, in my opinion, regardless of genre, equate to a good guitar. So if you're looking for a good guitar that's new, in the neighborhood of $1,000, regardless what genre you're playing, this thing is legit. I mean, all their stuff is super legit. They all come set up amazingly from the factory. Obviously, I love the company. There's, you know, I mean, it's just the truth. I'm being totally transparent here. And again, yes, you can tell that this is an SE. It is absolutely, you know, not a $5,000 or $6,000 guitar. I mean, we're not pretending that's the case. But I can tell you straight up that this is a guitar that you, I mean, pull out of the bag, check the tuning, and you get lost in the music. Here's the test. If you can just pull it out and just have a single note, just if you can just have a single note do that in a relatively clean environment or unplugged, where it wants to sing, it wants to ring, where the strings and the neck just feel like the whole thing's vibrating as one unit, that's how you know you got a good one. And I'm telling you, you know, maybe Paul watched this video and read a comment and just be like, you're out of your mind. But in my opinion, that the most important thing for Paul's guitar is that sustain. Give it a shot. See you in the next one.